My name is Mike, and until last year, I believed success in an office came down to performance, precision, and staying one step ahead. Feelings were distractions. Relationships were liabilities. The higher you climbed, the more careful you had to be about who stood beside you. I worked as a project manager at a marketing firm in Chicago. Our office was all glass walls and polished concrete, designed to look transparent, while everyone quietly guarded their ambitions. I had been there 6 years, long enough to understand that promotions weren't announced, they were positioned for. Conversations in hallways mattered as much as quarterly numbers. I had my eye on a senior manager role, rumored to open before the end of the year. I had earned strong results, led major accounts, and built a reputation for staying calm under pressure. I thought that would be enough. Then Emily joined our department. She transferred from another branch, and quickly became essential to our biggest client, an athletic brand preparing for a national campaign. She was capable, without being loud about it. Organized, analytical, steady. Working with her felt easy, natural. Late evenings in the office became routine, as we prepared forecasts and refined strategy decks. Outside the windows, the city lights blurred into a quiet backdrop for shared focus. Somewhere between deadlines and delivery meetings, my admiration shifted. It wasn't dramatic. It was subtle. The comfort of her presence, the way she challenged my thinking without ego, the quiet understanding that formed between us during long stretches of silence. James noticed before I did. James had been my colleague for years, friendly, charming, and politically aware in ways I never quite mastered. If I built influence through results, he built it through proximity to leadership. We were friendly, but underneath it lived a silent competition neither of us acknowledged. The atmosphere in the office shifted the morning an anonymous complaint reached upper management. It accused me of leaking confidential campaign data to a competitor. The message was detailed, citing projections that only 3 people had access to: me, Emily, and James. There was no public accusation, just quiet meetings, restricted file access, polite but distant expressions from leadership. Karen, our department head, handled it with controlled professionalism that felt colder than anger. For the first time in my career, I felt unstable. Doubt has a way of spreading into everything. I replayed recent conversations. James had been spending a lot of time in Karen's office lately. Emily had stayed late alone the night the alleged leak occurred. When I requested system access logs, I expected clarity. I got it, but not the kind I wanted. The exported files had been accessed through Emily's login. My first reaction was disbelief. My second was fear. If her credentials were used, the suspicion could easily shift toward her, or toward me for deflecting blame. When she learned about the login activity, she looked genuinely shaken. She admitted she had stepped away from her desk that evening, leaving her laptop unlocked while grabbing dinner. It was a careless mistake, but it didn't feel malicious. Still, doubt is louder than reason. The tension between us grew, subtle but heavy. Conversations shortened. Eye contact lingered with unspoken questions. I hated that part the most, not the investigation, but the way suspicion eroded something that had felt honest. I began looking deeper. Timeline comparisons, badge access records, small inconsistencies. That's when I noticed something overlooked. Security logs showed Karen's keycard accessing our floor well after most employees had left the night of the leak. That wasn't unusual on its own. She often worked late. But cross-referencing times revealed something unsettling. Her badge registered near Emily's office during the exact window when the files were exported. A further review of system metadata showed the export request originated from a device that had briefly connected to the guest network before switching to Emily's credentials. The pieces aligned slowly. Karen had been under pressure from corporate. Our athletic campaign projections weren't meeting expectations. A data leak would justify restructuring. A restructuring would cancel internal promotions. No senior manager position for me, no promotion for James either. Just a necessary reorganization. When confronted with the evidence, Karen's composure cracked. Not loudly, but enough. She framed it as strategy, as protecting the company, as making difficult decisions. Within weeks, she was placed on leave pending investigation. The senior manager position was frozen indefinitely. James distanced himself from the entire situation, focusing on protecting his own reputation. Our friendship never fully recovered. The silent rivalry that had once felt harmless now felt exposed and fragile. Emily and I, however, found our footing again, but not where we had left it. We rebuilt slowly, not with dramatic declarations, but with consistency. Small acts of trust repeated daily. Looking back, what unsettles me most isn't the accusation itself. It's how quickly I allowed suspicion to cloud my judgment. How easily ambition made me question someone who had given me no real reason to doubt her. Offices are full of quiet power struggles, and ambition can distort even the clearest intentions. But I learned that integrity matters more than advancement, and trust, once shaken, requires courage to restore. In the end, titles can disappear overnight. Reputations can be challenged. But the way you choose to act when your stability is threatened, that defines you far more than any promotion ever could.